Welcome to Cooking with Rod. I got a great recipe for you today, so here we go. This ultra moist mocha cake is packed with deep chocolate flavor and bold coffee notes, topped with a silky mocha buttercream. In this video, I'll show you how to make it as a classic layer cake or perfectly fluffy cupcakes with exact baking times for both. Whether you're baking for a celebration or just craving chocolate and coffee together, this recipe delivers every time. We're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius. Okay, we need two 8-inch round cake pans, greased and parchment lined. And for our cupcakes, we're just going to use cupcake liners. We're going to need to brew 1 cup of very strong coffee or espresso. Okay, we're going to need our eggs and our milk to be at room temperature. We're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius. To a large bowl, we're going to add our flour. To that, we're going to add in our sugar, then our cocoa powder. Add in the salt and our baking soda and our baking powder. Then we're going to whisk that together until well combined. Now we're going to add in the wet ingredients, so add the eggs and the buttermilk. Then add in the oil. And finally the vanilla. And we're going to mix that until very smooth. We're going to very slowly pour in the coffee, whisking continuously until fully combined. The batter will be very thin, but this is good. Then we're going to pour our batter into the 2 cake pans, make sure they're even. Or if we're making the cupcakes, use a cookie scoop to scoop those into the muffin liners. And level out the batter. Now we're going to place our 2 cake pans into our preheated oven. Bake those for 30 to 35 minutes. Then test with a toothpick. If it comes out clean, they're done. And we'll remove those from the oven. Let that cool in the pan for about 10 minutes. Then we'll turn those out onto a wire rack. And we'll let those cool completely. Alright, if you're making muffins, we're going to bake those at 350 for 18 to 22 minutes. Then we're going to remove those from the oven and place them on a wire rack to cool completely. Now we're going to make the buttercream, so we're going to beat the butter on medium speed until smooth and creamy, about 2 or 3 minutes. Now we're going to sift our flour and cocoa powder together into a bowl. We're going to slowly add our dry ingredients, mixing on low speed. Alright, we're going to beat that until it's smooth and creamy. Now we're going to add in our vanilla and our salt, then the coffee, and lastly add in the cream. Increase the speed of the mixer to medium-high and beat until light and fluffy, about 2 to 3 minutes. Adjust the consistency with more cream if needed. So for our cake, if we need to, we can cut a thin slice off to level it out. We'll place that on our cake wheel and add our layer of frosting to the top. Place our second cake on top of that. Now we're gonna start our crumb coat. Okay, we're gonna finish our crumb coat. What the crumb coat does is it holds the crumbs against the cake so that it doesn't mix when we do our final frosting. Now we're gonna chill that in the fridge for about 15 minutes. Now we'll start our final frosting layer. We're going to smooth out the side with our bench scraper. Use an offset spatula to create some swirls on the top. Now to frost our cupcakes, we're gonna put our frosting into a piping bag. Use the piping bag to pipe a swirl of frosting on top of the cupcake. Then we're gonna garnish the top with a little bit of crushed up coffee beans. And we'll do the same thing with the cake. So there you have it, Mocha Cake or Mocha Cupcakes. Then we're gonna cut ourselves a nice slice of cake. Then we're gonna present that on a plate. And we can plate up our cupcakes as well. Okay, you can store the cake for up to 24 hours at room temperature with the cake dome. For the cupcakes, we can store those in an airtight container for 24 hours. Alright, to store your cake and your cupcakes, I don't recommend you do it in the freezer because you have to freeze it unfrosted. But for frosted cake and cupcakes, place them in the fridge for 10 to 15 minutes. That will harden up the frosting. So then for your cake, you can cover that loosely with plastic wrap and put it back in the fridge. Now for your cupcakes, just put those in an airtight container and put those back in the fridge. Now you want to bring those out of the fridge when you're ready to serve and put them on the counter for 15 to 20 minutes and let those warm up to room temperature. Always use room temperature ingredients when baking the eggs, butter, and dairy mix more evenly, giving a smoother batter and a more tender crumb. Coffee enhances the chocolate flavor. You won't taste the coffee in the finished cake, but it deepens and intensifies the chocolate. Hot water may be substituted if needed, but it's not the same. Mix on low speed when adding dry ingredients. This prevents overmixing and keeps the cake soft instead of dense. Do not overbake. The cake is done when a toothpick inserted comes out with a few moist crumbs on it, not completely dry. Chill to set the frosting, not to store immediately. A short chill firms the buttercream so it stays smooth when slicing or covering. Bring to room temperature before serving. Buttercream and the cake texture are best after sitting out for 20 to 30 minutes. Cupcakes bake faster than cake layers. Start checking cupcakes several minutes early to avoid drying them out. For cleaner slices, use a warm knife and wipe it clean between cuts. Alright, thanks for watching Cooking with Rod. All the ingredient amounts and instructions on how to make this recipe will be down below in the description box. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share with your friends.